Hey, what's going on everybody? Welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be talking about Black Dynamite. So, I have seen this movie before, and actually I was like pretty big into the show when it was on. So, I actually watched the Black Dynamite show before I ever even watched the movie. And I know this is going to sound crazy, but I didn't even know that there was a movie. I just watched the show a lot on Adult Swim when it was on, like around the time when I was in high school. And then probably about 5 years or something like that, like around 5 years ago, I was just at some random Dollar General and I found the Black Dynamite movie on DVD, and I was like, there's a movie? What the heck? Like, how have I not known about this? Do I live under a rock? Like, what am I doing with my life? So, picked up the Black Dynamite DVD, watched it, and I was like, what was I doing with my life? Like, this movie is where it's at. It's thebomb.com. So, after rewatching, I'm telling you what, this movie still rules, still fantastic. I mean, Black Dynamite, it's a great movie. It's a good movie. It's I mean, it's got a lot going on, but just for me, like the comedy in this is so good. Like I don't know. They killed it. Like, this movie is absolutely hilarious. But it's got a lot of good stuff going for it. But anyways, yeah, that's my opinion of Black Dynamite. I'm a big fan. And yeah, shouts out to the Black Dynamite show too. I haven't seen the show in quite a while, but the show rules. The show is like the same vibe as the movie, but it's animated, so they can get pretty crazy with it. But yeah, this movie is it's pretty cool. So, jumping into the plot summary, the movie follows Black Dynamite, who is he's ex-CIA, and early on in the movie, his brother is mysteriously killed. After Black Dynamite's brother is mysteriously killed, Black Dynamite wants to avenge his brother's death. To do this, he plans to clean up the streets, and he wages war against anyone selling drugs. So Black Dynamite's cleaning up the streets. He's, cleaning up the community, getting drugs off the streets. But then there's this whole other situation where Black Dynamite and his crew, they find this warehouse full of this malt liquor called Anaconda malt liquor, and they uncover this plot where some unknown higher-ups are actually using this malt liquor in order to, shrink black men's dicks. It's like this whole plot, this whole nefarious plot. So Black Dynamite, him and his crew, they try to uncover the mystery, and they try to get to the bottom of this, and they try to stop the spread of this Anaconda malt liquor. And it goes all the way, like, he goes to Kung Fu Island for a little bit, and eventually he goes to the White House and fights Richard Nixon. So there you go. Pretty eventful, pretty fun, pretty unique, pretty innovative. Solid plot. I approve. So, first things first, I'm just gonna go over some funny sequences, some funny situations, and some funny lines that I like. So there's this one instance where, like, after the streets are cleaned up, Black Dynamite's walking around with his love interest, and there's these two girls. They're jumping rope, and they're like, Black Dynamite and his love interest, they're like introducing themselves, and she says, "Oh, this is Black Dynamite," and both the one girl's like, "My mom says my dad's name is Black Dynamite," and the other girl's like, My mom also says that my dad's name is Black Dynamite," and he's just like, he's like embarrassed. He's like, hush up, little girls. A lot of cats have that name." I don't know why. Like I always thought that was really funny. Just I mean, no one has that name. Who else is named Black Dynamite? Like, and it's funny because like he's with his girl and stuff, and he's just like such a player. He's like impregnated the entire community. He's like that's like I love just the Black Dynamite character. He's like irresistible to women. He's got the kung fu skills. He's smooth. Like early on, I keep just referring to her as Black Dynamite's love interest. I forgot what her name is, but yeah, the girl he's trying to get with, like the Black Panther girl, basically. Early on, she's like, "What do you think? You're just gonna win me over with a wink and a smile?" And he hits her with a wink, and then she's like, "Where's the smile?" He's like, "I am smiling." Like he's just like hardcore like action movie hero status. Black Dynamite rules. Michael Jai White killed it in this role. He absolutely just he just destroyed it. He went hard AF, and it's a perfect role for him because he's a martial artist. Seems like he does have a love for all those like 70s blaxploitation movies. So yeah, Michael Jai White was a perfect fit. He actually like co-wrote the script. So yeah, he was very heavily involved. So shouts out Michael Jai White. But anyways, getting back to funny lines here. This is probably the most iconic line in the movie. I feel like it's in the trailer. I'm pretty sure, and I feel like people know about this line. This is the best line. So Black Dynamite walks in this room. It's like this gathering of pimps, and he's like, "I'm declaring war on anyone who sells drugs in the community." And this one guy, the one guy, his name is Chocolate Giddy Up. He's like, "But Black Dynamite, I sell drugs in the community." Come on, that's the best line in the movie. Just the way he delivers it. Mr. Chocolate Giddy Up, he's like, "But Black Dynamite, I sell drugs in the community." So, that's an iconic line. All the pimp names are great. Miguel Nunez Jr. is in this, and his pimp name is Mo Bitches. Arsenio Hall's in this movie. His name's Tasty Freeze. And then yeah, you got Chocolate Giddy Up, played by Cedric Yarbrough. So yeah, the great pimp names. You got some big time famous actors in this. Who else is in this? Tommy Davidson is in this. You got a lot of famous people in this. So great cast, great script. It's beautiful. Let's see. Oh yeah, so another funny line is Black Dynamite's like talking to his girl, and then this other woman, I think her name was Honeybee. I can't recall exactly, but he's talking to these ladies, and he's kind of ranting and raving. He's kind of in the groove, conversating. He's like rhyming. He's like smooth with it, and this random girl just pops out of nowhere and finishes his sentence for him, and he just so angrily says, he's like, "Euphoria, shut the fuck up. I know that was you." And then he just does this death stare. He just like cocks his head and he does this death stare like he's so pissed, like I was in the groove. I was like talking smooth, and you had to like come through and fuck it up. And he's just death stare, just like what? How dare you? You ruined my flow, So that was great. I like there's this whole sequence where Black Dynamite and his crew, they're at this diner, and they're trying to kind of uncover the meaning of Code Kansas, which is they were at this warehouse. They initially thought that there was, they're going to find drugs or something like that there, but they just found all this malt liquor, the Anaconda malt liquor, and they heard someone there say Code Kansas, so they're like, this has to mean something. This has to be some sort of, there has to be some ulterior meaning. So when they're at this diner, they just like go back and forth and they try to uncover it, and they'll just say like random stuff and they'll tie it together. They're like, they start talking about like M&M's candy, and they're like, who makes M&M's candy? Mars. Mars is the Roman god of blah blah blah, and they just like keep making all these random connections, and you're like, where's this going? And the scene is so long, it's so drawn out, and all the connections are so random, but they eventually do get to the bottom of it. And I thought that was like a really well thought out scene, like, because they jump from one thing to another, and it doesn't initially make sense, but like once they come to a conclusion, it does make sense. But it's just funny because it's like some stuff, like in it with comedy, some stuff, like if it goes on and on and on, like the longer it goes on, it just makes it hilarious. Like it's like if you repeat something a lot, it kind of makes it more funny. That's how this was, and it was so random. You're like, is this, when is this gonna get somewhere? Like what's the point of this? But it, like the fact that it does kind of have a point and it does kind of have a punchline, but it's so drawn out, is like, it was like a masterfully crafted comedic sequence. It was great. Also, Miguel Nunez Jr.'s character, Mo Bitches, he's talking about like being down bad financially, like the pimp game isn't really what it used to be, and he's like, I'm having a bad physical year. And then Arsenio Hall's character, Tasty Freeze, he's like, it's fiscal with an F. So I don't know, that was just like a blink and you miss it little quick line of dialogue, but he's like, I'm having a terrible physical year. He's like, it's fiscal, you know. So I don't know, that was great. All the dialogue, all the comedy in this, like, I mean, there is the action in this is great too. Like all of the kung fu, like I said, you know, Michael Jai White, he's a martial artist. He's all the fight scenes in this are great. He's like jumping up in the air, kicking two people at once. He whips out the nunchucks. There was this one instance where he like jumps up and he kicks this light. Like, Michael Jai White is flexible, and he's a big dude. Like, he's like, it's like crazy to be like big like that and he's so agile. He's like I don't know, like I'm like stealing Bruce Lee's line here, but like Michael Jai White straight like moves like water. So yeah, all the action was good. There was some good like gunplay, some good gunfights, some good just fights in general. Great martial arts. So yeah, the comedy was on point, the action was on point, and you know, I gotta, okay, the last thing that I gotta shout out about this movie is the look. So, you know, this is a period piece. It's supposed to be an homage to blaxploitation films, as well as a parody of blaxploitation films. And you know, blaxploitation films were big in the 70s, so it's a period piece. It's set in the 70s, and they went to like pretty great lengths to make this look like a 70s movie. They shot the entire movie on Super 16 millimeter, and of course they, you know, transferred it to digital to edit. I can't talk today. I'm all sick. I'm all congested. They transferred it to digital to edit, but yeah, like it's got that, like the movie just had that real like high contrast, saturated look. It kind of had like a yellowish golden tinge to it. It had some good grain going on. Like if you were to put this in and then pop an actual 1970s movie in right after, like you probably couldn't even tell the difference. Like they went to like they went hard to get the look right. Like I just love the film stock they used. All the lingo too, like they were talking like it was the 70s. It really, they did a good job of capturing the 70s. Not that I would know. I'm like a Generation Z or whatever, you know. So I don't know. I wasn't alive in the 70s. I'm like a future person, so I can't call it, but I watch 70s movies and it looks pretty close to like a real 70s movie. So yeah, the look of the film was great. The comedy was great. Good action. So in terms of a recommendation, I would definitely recommend Black Dynamite. It's a great time. It's only like an hour and 25 minutes, so not that much of a time commitment. If you're looking for something to lift your spirits, this is a great, fun, funny movie. And I can't even really think of any negatives. Like this, it's a good movie. And if you all do watch the movie and you've never seen the show, I think the show is worth watching as well. The show is phenomenal. So yeah, that's been my recommendation, and that has been my review of Black Dynamite. Thank you all very much for watching, and peace out.